Hi beauties, welcome back, or welcome if it's your first time here. We're gonna update my stash today. It has been well over 3 weeks since I've done this. I have gotten plenty of use out of these things. I know I haven't been filming a whole lot, but I've still been using the stuff that's in here, so let's just get into it, okay? I have a very full caboodle this time around. I'm just going to show you the stuff that I used, the stuff that stays in here every rotation, my mascaras, my eyelid primers, my glitter glue, eyebrow stuff, those things I'm not going to go through. I'm just going to kind of show you what I am going to swap out in no particular order. Just starting at top, I've got my 3 Colourpop Lippie sticks. These were part of the Wild Child collection. I realized when I watched my last stash video, I kept calling it the Wild Nothing collection, and it's Wild Child. I've got Brat Pack, Sassy, and Oh Behave. I think I only used 2 of these. I know that I used Brat Pack, which is the lightest color. Sassy is a mid-tone color. My son has found me, in case you can't tell. And you know what? I did use this darkest color, Oh Behave. I did wear that one day. So I probably wore all of these. That's them, from lightest to darkest. I mean, they're good. If you've ever tried Colourpop Lippie sticks, you kind of know what the formula is. They're not matte. They're not necessarily glossy. I don't know how to describe them. They're pretty. Yeah, I like these colors. I liked that whole collection. It was very, it was like a deeper collection than what they normally do. Foundations. I left my e.l.f. Camo CC cream in there. I have 2 different shades. I have light 210N and I have light 240W. I usually just mix these like I've mentioned before. I like this stuff. It is very full coverage. I don't know. It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite foundation, but I like it. I think it looks really pretty on the skin. Again, I've mentioned this before, but it does just wear off a little bit weird on me. Like, it wears off weird around my nose and my chin as the day goes on. And then I just had my L'Oreal True Match. I got a different shade. I got N4. I was wearing W4 for the longest time. I think the neutral undertones look better on me. I still think that this is just a little bit too dark. I probably should have got like N3, but I like this. I love the finish of this foundation. It's such a wonderful, affordable drugstore option. I think it looks really nice. And I finally finished a setting spray. I finished my NYX Dewy Finish. So now we only have 1 left. Mascaras, I used my Essence I Heart Volume and then my L'Oreal Air Volume. Sorry, my light is pretty bright. Probably can't see that, but yeah, I like these. I like layering them. They give a lot of volume. I feel like this one even does give me a little bit of length. So I love the way those look. I probably will just keep those in. I don't have a ton of mascaras that I'm like looking to try out or rotate through. So moving on to the bottom portion of my caboodle. What do I have? I have my Anastasia Glow Kit, the Sun Dipped. I mean, these are beautiful. These are just such nice highlights. I only used these 2. As you can see, those are the ones I typically use, Summer and Moonstone. I usually just mix both of them together. I really don't want to get rid of this palette, but I know that it's coming time. Probably when I do my next declutter, I'm gonna have to get rid of it. Mainly because it's old. I mean, this is like 6 years old. It's very, very old. And I really am only keeping it for those 2 shades. Like, I don't, these other 2 shades are just, they're just not right for highlights for me. They're a little bit dark. Even when I am tan in the summer, they're a little bit dark. So I don't know, just seems silly to kind of hold on to a product that's 6 years old for 2 highlights. I put my Stila Heaven's Hue highlighter in the shade Kitten. I'm actually wearing this today. I think this highlight is stunning. I love it. It's one of those softer, you know, bouncy sort of, I don't know, I don't want to say putty, like it's not that soft, but it's a different texture. Sorry, I have a hair in there. But yeah, I used this several times. Really, really love this. I know they have other shades of this too. I hear, I actually got this on the recommendation of, it's either Dana Ann. I think it's Dana Ann. She's been on YouTube forever. I've been watching her for years. Love her recommendations. Oh, I forgot to mention that I had my Milani Soft Focus Glow in there too. I use this, I'm actually wearing this today as my primer. I mean, it's beautiful. I have it in the shade Nude Glow, Fair to Light. I think it really does make my skin look bright. It's not thick. It's just a really thin, almost like moisturizer. Doesn't feel heavy on my skin. It's not sticky. I like it. I like it a lot. What's next? My Fenty powder in butter, Pro Filter powder. Love it. I don't know what else to say. I've got my Native palette, my EXO Native palette. This is what it looks like. If you've never seen it, it's very, very beautiful. I'm actually wearing it today on my eyes. Used this a couple times. I mean, it's beautiful. It's all of the shadows have performed well, blended well, no issues. That's actually my first experience with EXO Beauty. It took a little while to get here. Took over a month to get here, but that is when I order anything from Australia, whenever I've ordered anything from like Glam Raider, it takes a really, really long time to get here. So I kind of anticipated that, not that big of a deal to me, honestly. But I liked that. I have got my Wild Child palette, the 9-pan palette here. I think I only used this once, but again, I liked it. It is typical Colourpop quality. This shade in the middle, Lashes, I think it's supposed to be pressed glitter, but it honestly doesn't perform like a typical pressed glitter to me. It's much easier to use in my opinion. But yeah, I liked it. Just very rich, warm browns, if that's what you're into. Works well. Going along with that, I pulled in the Super Shock shadows that went with that collection. Basic Instinct. I mean, they're browns. I used a couple of these. That's Basic Instinct. What's this one? Run Wild. That's what that looks like. And the last one is Free Reign. And that's that one. I don't think I used that one. I think I just swatched that one. But I mean, again, if you've ever used a Colourpop Super Shock shadow, you know what the quality's like. They're beautiful. I love the deep, rich browns that were in that collection. Sorry, the mirror that goes in the top part of this caboodle it fell out. And it's completely fell out. I tried to take some of that blue, like, tacky stuff and stick it back on, but it doesn't work. It just keeps falling out. So that's what all the commotion is. Sorry. The last palette that I had in here is my Give Me Glow Vivid Rose palette. Now, I only used this once, but how beautiful is that? This is such a stunning palette. Oh, what shades did I use? I think I used, well, I know I used that shade, Pedal to the Metal, because that is right up my alley. I used Spill the Tea Rose. I used He Loves Me, which is like this more muted pink. I used Talk Dirt to Me. I didn't have an issue with this palette. I thought everything performed well. I've seen kind of mixed reviews about it on here, but personally I didn't have an issue. I thought it was pretty. I feel like I'm not necessarily all that hard to please when it comes to eyeshadows. Like, I know when they're crappy and they don't work, but I don't know, if I can get them to work, I just don't feel like I'm that picky. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Blushes, I had quite a few. So I have this Milani Cheek Kiss in Blushing Berry. Not my favorite. Not my favorite cream blush formula, which I know I've mentioned before. I only used this once. I just don't like how it applies. Like, I've tried with a brush, I've tried with a sponge, I've tried with my fingers. I don't know, I just don't like the way it sits on my skin. I always feel like it just disrupts any other product that I have on. Like, it lifts and then my cheek ends up looking a little bit patchy. I don't know. It's honestly just not my favorite. I had my two Colourpop Wild Child collection blushes in here. You've got Jet Set, which is this very, very neutral color. Used that, liked it. And then this one is called Trippin'. I used this several times. This is gorgeous. It looks really, really dark in the pan. Like, I was kind of nervous about how it would look on my cheeks, honestly, but that's it right there, if you can see. But it ends up looking really, really pretty on the skin. Just gives you like a nice, like warm, toasty, flushed look to your cheeks, which I really liked. I also had my Fenty cream blush in here and Petal Poppin', which I like. Love those cream blushes. And then my OG Milani Luminoso. I'm actually wearing this today. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful blush. Had my Fenty cream, bronzer, macchiato. I already have a little divot in this from using it. I just am obsessed with this bronzer, you guys. It's so freaking good. I had this in there too, my Physicians Formula Organic Wear Sculpting Bronzer with jojoba oil. I only used this once. I'm just not that big of a fan, honestly. I mean, it works fine. The color's okay. It's a little bit more orange than what I like in a bronzer, but it blends out fine. I mean, honestly, I didn't really have any issues in that regard. And then lips, I had my Revlon Ultra HD Vinyl Lip Polish. I'm sorry, I do not know what the shade is in this. I used this several times. It's just a really, really pretty neutral, like neutral, like rosy mauve color. It's shiny, which you know I love. This Milani, the Milani Bold Matte in I Am Happy. That's the color right there. I'm actually wearing it today. I love it. This I didn't wear, I don't think. I don't remember if I wore this. My NYX Extreme Shine Lip Cream in Dolly Girl. I might have worn this once. I don't remember, you guys. I'm sorry. 3 weeks is a long time to try and remember. every time I did my makeup. And that's Dolly Girl right there. Super, super pretty pink. One of my favorite pinks to wear. I think that's it. Like I said, that's all the stuff that I'm putting back, all the stuff that is going to stay in here. I'm not going to take out and show you. So let me get this stuff out. I'm going to wipe down my caboodle and I'll take you over to my collection. We are at my collection again. My son is still here with me, so you know, just always be prepared for that. Oh, okay. I am sort of already overwhelmed just looking at this top drawer. What do I want to use primer wise? I'm trying to think if there's anything. I mean, I don't have anything new. I really have not bought a whole lot of new makeup this year, which is fine. It's kind of my goal. I've used all of my primers. So what do I really want to use? I don't know, honestly. I've been using my Auric a lot, which you know. Maybe I'll do this again. I really like this Neutrogena Radiant Primer plus Serum with peptides. I'll do that. I just kind of want to focus on one, and then like I said, I have been using those quite a bit as primers, highlighters, mix-ins, all types of stuff. So I'm gonna just stick with that. Foundation wise, don't have anything. Oh, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and pull this. This is my setting spray, the L'Oreal Lumi Shake and Glow Dew Mist. That's gonna be what I'm using. You know what, I'm not a huge fan of this foundation. At least I don't remember being a fan of it, and I don't have that much left. So I want to use this. This is the Urban Decay Stay Naked Weightless Liquid Foundation. I have the shade 30WY. I have no idea if that's the right shade for me, but we're gonna give it a go. And what else? I always like to have a couple different options. Let's do my Flower Light Illusion. I love this foundation. I'm gonna pull in both shades just because. So we'll do those in a powder. What do I want to use? Just did my Fenty, I did my Pat McGrath before that. I've got my e.l.f. Let's do my Haley's. I'm gonna do my Haley's Beauty Retouch Perfecting Powder Loose Setting Powder. So that's what I'll use from that top drawer. Moving down. This is overwhelming again. What do I want to do? Bronzers, man. You know how I feel about my bronzers. I don't know. I just feel like I'm at a point where I'm not in love with a lot of the bronzers I have. I just feel like I need to get rid of some stuff. Like these matchsticks are beautiful, but this is a contour color. As you can tell, it's so gray. I don't contour anymore. This is way too dark for me. Like, even if I was the tannest I could possibly be, that's too dark. I have no idea why I got that color. This color actually does work for me. I can make it work, this suede color. So maybe I'll try that. I just really I'm very ready to declutter my bronzers. So I want to get I want to give these products like their last shot, you know what I mean? I definitely know I'm gonna want another bronzer though. And actually, I have been thinking about, hang on. I really want to use my Wet n Wild. I love this bronzer, this Sunset Striptease color icon. I like that. That's my busted one. I have a backup one, so I highly doubt I'll use all that, but I'm gonna pull that in. Blushes, I kind of feel the same way. I just feel I have too much. I have too much. I don't think, I mean, again, I don't have anything that I've really been thinking about. I have these two new Vive blushes. I have Pesca and Cherub, which are beautiful. I know I just used one in my last Get Ready With Me. That's Cherub. And then Pesca is this like orangish color, which maybe I'll just pull those in. I mean, I freaking love these, and I wouldn't mind using those for a little while. I always kind of like to have a cream option too, though. I have so many cream blushes. What do I want to do? I've got Fenty, Flower, Tower 28. I have those Milani ones, but I really just don't like those. I think that's all the cream blushes I have. I have my Charlotte Tilbury, but I used the rotation before this one. Maybe I'll re-pull in my Tower 28. Sorry, I just wanted to show you this. Just it's called Beach Please. I never know. Is Beach Please the name of the blush or the collection? I think Magic Hour is the name of the blushes, and Beach Please is the color. But that's it. It's just a nice neutral color, so I'll pull that in. I've got a neutral, then I have a pink and like an orangish color, so that's cool. That'll work just fine. Highlighters, again, I'm using my Auric quite a bit, so that's always there. I just don't foresee myself not using that. What do I want? Jeez. I am gonna pull in a face palette because I've mentioned before I would need to get some use out of those. Let's pull in maybe one other single highlighter. Let's do this gold one. This I Heart Revolution Tasty Apple. Okay. Just a pretty gold. So we'll do that, and then I'm gonna pull in a face palette too. Okay, as far as eyeshadow palettes, I unfortunately am not, there's nothing really that I'm like being pulled to, nothing really that I'm like, oh, I have to use that, I need to create something with that. So I think I am actually going to randomize my palettes. I'm probably going to do 3 or 4 depending on what I get, but I'll show you what is chosen at the end of this. Lips, look at my shit is so out of control. I've got palettes way down here, I have blushes, it's a mess. It's an absolute mess. As far as face palettes, I did say I wanted to pull one in. I'm going to use my Flower. This is the Flower Beauty Shimmer and Strobe highlighting palette. I don't know that there's a shade name for it, but this is it. Gonna pull that in. Lipsticks. This is really just like my lip liners and glosses. I don't really know that I want to pull any of these in. I usually just come and like grab a gloss if I want one. Nothing is really like, you know, calling to me, so I'm gonna shut that. Lipsticks, I do probably need to get some use out of. What do I want to do? Goodness. I always like to have a neutral color in there, maybe a couple neutrals. That's that new Vive lipstick, 90s. It's gorgeous. I feel like I've already used that so much just since I got it. Oh, maybe one of my Propa Beauty lipsticks. Those are always beautiful. You know what? Maybe I'll come back to my lips after I pick my palettes. I guess let me see what kind of eyeshadow I'm going to be getting, and then I'll circle back to these. All right, here are our palette options. I got the Colourpop Whatever, which is just a very, very warm burgundy, copper, gold. And then my BH Naughty palette, really excited about this. I've only used it once, so can't wait to get some more use out of that. This is obviously way too big to fit in my caboodle, so this is just gonna have to stay in here. I got my Norvina palette, which is honestly one of my most favorite, most used and abused palettes ever. This is a new one. Yeah, my other one I had pan and like everything, so I got a new one. And then I got my Juvia's Place Nubian too. So I love this palette. Again, very warm, mostly warm, very deep, rich, beautiful tone. Also, I have no idea why I said let's wait to get palettes, because I still don't know what what lipsticks I want to use. So let's just go with what I was originally planning. Let's do one of my Propa lipsticks. I really like this shade, Made It. We'll do that. What else? That's kind of like an orangey, like terracotta nude. I want more of like a nudie nude, if that makes sense. What do I want? I don't know. What about, have I used, I can't remember if this has been in my, let's do this. This is a Rimmel Kate Moss. This is in the shade 14. It's more of a, look, you can see my other lipstick on there. This is very loved. We'll use that. And then I do want, I always like to pull in a fun color too. So do I want a pink? Do I want a red? I used to have a lot more purple lipsticks. I don't feel like I really have purple too much anymore. This bright peony is a pretty color. One of the flower lipsticks. Maybe we'll do that. We'll do that. We'll do a nice pink. We've got an orangey nude, and then we have a more true nude color. So that's it. Like I said, my lip liners, I just run in and grab if I want one. Lip glosses, I'll come in and get, but let's organize this stuff. All right, this is what we're working with. Let's get it in here.